Glad to be in your faces once again. In this video, let's talk about something really important, but maybe not as exciting. Debt management, tackling debt, tackling debts. And maybe I will be able to touch a bit on credit management, but how do I manage my debts? That's one question I get all the time. I am so inundated by a lot of debts. What can I do? Help me. I'm drowning in debt. My heart goes out to people because I have been in debt in the past as well. Even though, I was able to wriggle my way out of it. It wasn't so much, but it was just a situation or a position I found myself in because of my lifestyle choices. But I see that some people are permanently in a place of debt and they keep, just digging deeper and deeper and deeper. And I get messages, I get emails, help me, I'm drowning in debt. What can I do? So I'm hoping that this video will give you a bit of clarity, a bit of direction, a bit of instructions on how you can move your personal financial life a notch higher, get out of debt, and start the journey to financial freedom. If you haven't watched my video on financial fitness, please go look for it. Debt management is one of the critical pillars in the world of personal finance. So we are talking about income, how you make money. We are talking about budgeting. We are talking about debt and credit management. We are talking about investing planning, retirement planning, and a whole lot more. But, let's stick to, today's topic, which is how can I tackle my debts? How can I get out of debt? And how can I prevent, going into debt or being indebted? Literally, what is debt? A debt is an obligation, right, to repay somebody for something you have collected from them. Now, that's very literal. I'm trying to use a layman's language. So when you are indebted, it means that in the future, which might be in the next 1 hour, which might be tomorrow, economic value is flowing out of you. It's an obligation. You have to pay back what you owe. Now, the question before I talk about how do we get out of debt is, how do we get into debt? What are the things that get people into debt? And I will share 4 things. In my opinion, the first thing is the mindset. I did a video recently about savings. You should watch it as well. And don't forget to share with your friends. You see, attaining financial success, becoming successful with your finances is a function of your mindset. Many years ago, I already shared my story. I was earning so well, and I just had this tussle with my finances. My finances were all over the place. I couldn't account for it. I thought it was a spiritual problem I had. I thought village people were after me. But I realized that I needed to have a healthy mindset about money. Money is a tool, right? Just like oxygen, just like life, just like water. Money is one of the blessings of life, blessings of God for the universe, for us to live totally amazing life. Does it not surprise you that, when a baby comes into this world, they don't even come with anything. And when somebody dies, they don't go with anything. So that money game is played right here on earth. Okay, so even though some people are fortunate to have been born into wealthy homes, with silver spoons and all of that, but we all can alter and decide the way our lives will pan out by our choices. A few years ago, I wrote a book titled How You Can Familiarize Yourself with Your Finances. Get it? We will put the link under this video. And it's like you nurturing a relationship with your spouse, with your boyfriend, with your friends. You need to have a good and healthy relationship with your money. There's a quote that says that money is such an excellent servant, but a bad leader. Now, when you allow money lead you, when you allow the emotions of money overwhelm you, then you are making money your master, your leader. But you've got to be on top. You've got to see money as something that is a blessing, a tool with which you can achieve purpose. So I think the first thing is we need to develop a healthy mindset with our finances. And you don't have to be agitated. You don't have to be exasperated because of money issues. It starts with the mind in your subconscious. You have to settle it down there that you see, money is a tool. Money will not lead me. Money will not drive me. I am going to be in control. Abundance is a mindset. Okay. So a lot of people do not have this positive mindset about money. They take a lot of decisions. There's no relationship. People get into debt and all of that. Okay. You must have the right money beliefs, right? Set of beliefs about money. And I hope to do a video about that. So when you have the right set of beliefs about money and you are on top of your money game, it affects your choices because you are deliberate. You are on top. You know what to do. You are really, really intentional. I gave a story about how somebody was earning about 1/6 of what I earned many years ago, and she had millions in an asset management account. So it wasn't a function of what she was earning. It was a function of determination that she was going to succeed. You see, with her money. Okay, so the number one reason why a lot of people get into debt and fail, with their financial lives is because of the wrong mentality and mindset. Some people believe that you cannot be rich except you are corrupt. Some people believe that except you are born with money, you cannot be rich. Some people believe that, so many beliefs. So what are those beliefs that you need to crush? Crush them and see money as a tool. Money as something that would help you. Number 2, lack of intentionality. Ask those who have been in debt. Some people go in debt. They're indebted because of, can I call it silly things? I like the Bible that says that wealth desirable or oil desirable is in the house of the righteous, but a foolish man spends it all. He calls anybody who spends it all, who is not intentional about putting things aside, about setting money aside, is called a fool. I didn't say that. Okay? Most times, a lot of people are not intentional about their finances. Again, this is not about I am earning so little. Go listen to that saving video I did and think about it. It's about the mindset. It's about being intentional. So I earned 50,000. There are things I cannot do now, not because I don't love them, but because my financial capacity cannot accommodate them for now. When the time comes, I will do those things. You are intentional. You are not allowing the pressure of your friends or social media, influence what you do or what you do not do. I watched a movie, Keeping Up with the Joneses, a couple of years ago. Modest couple living in, a modest life, just doing amazing things. And then these neighbors moved in. And these neighbors were living a flamboyant life. And this modest couple got inundated. They were like, what's happening with these people? I remember in that movie, they broke into their house to go and see what was happening. Alas, this new couple were not even a couple. They were hired assassins. That's what the pressure of, people around, what they do, what they have, that's how it gets to us. You get on social media, you see somebody saying this is this, and you know that you cannot afford it. And then you go borrowing. People borrow to buy ashwebi. Ashwebi is ceremonial attire for parties, in this part of Africa. People borrow on consumables. People borrow to buy TV. People leverage credit for things that are not important. You need to stop that habit and become more intentional. Number 3, lifestyle choices. Similar to the second point, some of us need to temporarily disable some things that we are currently doing. So subscriptions, some things. I was consulting for somebody a few years ago, and he insisted that even though we were talking about how he could manage his debt, pay down his debt, he still insisted his family had to go for vacation, because when the children will come back and return to school, their friends would ask them where they have been, on vacation for the year, where they traveled to. I'm like, so this has become a status thing. Okay? Some of us need to disable some things that are not beneficial for our financial lives. Subscriptions that you necessarily cannot afford, but because you're doing it because of, what people say. Those are the things that keep you under pressure financially. affordability is not for today. I tell people, I'm not saying don't spend money, but you have to spend smartly. Okay. Another thing why people get into debt is because, or why they get into debt and remain in debt is that they treat the debts they receive or they collect from family and friends with so much levity. Now, if you collect money or you borrow from an institution, say a microfinance bank, or maybe overseas, you use your credit card and you don't pay back, you know the implication. The interest keeps piling up. Your financial report is your credit score is ruined if you do not pay. But because in Nigeria and Africa, you can easily get money from friends and family, and you tell them, I will pay back soon. And if you don't pay back, there's nothing they can do. And then you keep doing that, borrow from family A, family B, friend C, friend D. And you keep, because they won't take you to court. Of course, your credibility is being ruined, but they might brag and brag and brag and curse and curse and curse. That's it. I remember somebody borrowed money from somebody through me. And, it was supposed to be a 30-day loan. And now, 2 years, we're still on it. That's what people do because they know sometimes you cannot take them to court. You cannot enforce regulatory, penalties on them, you see. So people keep borrowing, and then they find themselves under this very huge weight of debt. There are a lot more reasons why people go into debt. I don't know why you are in debt, but it's not a good place to be. I tell people debt, obligations, look at the past, right? Spending, focus on the present, but savings and investment, focus on the future. Now we have talked about why people go into debt. Let's talk about how to get out of debt. Because I believe that's why some people are looking at this video. Number one, have a list. Face it. Some people do not want to face their finances. They do not want to face their debt. They just keep burying and burying. They shy away. You cannot make progress if you do not face it. Face your debt. Face your finances. Have a list. The ones that are bearing interest, the one that you have to pay interest on, the ones of family and friends, list it. Interact with your financial state. Interact. Don't just shy away and be like, I'm dead, I'm ruined. List it out. List it out. Number one. Number two, map out a payment plan. Another very annoying thing that people do, when they're not able to pay, they go quiet. They go quiet on their creditors. They go quiet on the people. Meanwhile, before they got the debts, they'll be all over you, all over you. I see this happen all of the time. Don't go quiet. Be committed. Map out a repayment plan. Reschedule, discuss with your creditors, your options, the issues you have, your circumstances, and make a commitment. Okay, now there are about 3 payment plans that you can have, or 2. There's the snowball method by Dave Ramsey, in which he says that list your debt from the smallest to the biggest and start to pay. I think that's quite easy, right? You're owing somebody 50K, you're owing another person 100K, list them out, and once you pay them, strike them out. You see why it is important to have a list, right? The avalanche method is the second one. And this applies to a lot of people who are abroad and, who have debts that require interest or that have interest elements on them. So make minimum payments on all your debts, and then whatever amount you have left, use it to pay the ones with the highest interest. Okay, I will share some links through which you can read up to understand some of these payment plans. The snowball method, list from lowest to highest and keep paying off and keep striking out. Avalanche, pay minimum on all and then use the balance of your cash flow to pay the one with the highest interest. Okay, another payment plan, this one is sure. When you have a windfall, you get extra cash from anywhere, dump it 100% into your debt repayment, or maybe take just a little out of your saving. If you are owing money and then you get a windfall and you do not consider your debt repayment, it shows me you are not committed. So dump extra cash into repayment of your debt. Number 4, make money by all means. Make more money by all means. You need to pay down your debts. You need to, embrace multiple sources. Use your gift, use your talent. Just find a means. Where there is a will, there would always be a way. And of course, the last thing is adopt the right money mindset. These are just a few things that I hope would help you. Again, it has to do with you. It starts from your mind. It ends in your mind. You can get help. But if you don't plug or block the loopholes, you will keep digging, right, the debt hole. I am hoping and rooting for you that you will very soon be able to pay off your debt, but you must be intentional about it. We have a course on debt management at the Smart Stewards Academy. Please take the course, join our investment club, be in the right money circle, people that can help you, get better with your finances. And I know you will succeed. I love you, and I'm really rooting for you. All the best another time soon.